Gonna get a lot of dough. Anything is possible. Turn me up in the headphones. Yeah. Grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Yeah. Grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Yeah, all I know is get paper. All I do is shit major. Bought a condo on the top floor and the building's a skyscraper. Feeling like I'm Kobe, LeBron for the Lakers. Feeling like I'm Idris, Paul Walker, Taker. New Rollie, no diamonds in it. New Porsche, all dimes in it. I'm infatuated with fine women. Corona extra with the lime in it. Just a chase to Henny. Used to be a penny pincher. Now I'm in plenty business. Grind hard, nigga, on guard.
Grind hard, nigga, on guard.
Yeah. We grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. I lean with it, I rock with it. Locks under my socks fitted. Tahoe with the black tint. Houston girl, heavy accent, but my whole swag is magic. High five, fantastic. Make the money stretch like elastic. Making moves that you couldn't imagine. Eating, still watching my calories. Just to pull in that big boy salary. It's just the way that it has to be. I'm a bad boy, Mike Lowry. While I'm sipping this Henny, and all of my niggas is with me. Yeah, grind hard, nigga, on guard.
Grind hard, nigga, on guard.
Yeah. Grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible.
Man, you already know what it is. Talking Dogman live call-in show. I am Dog Waters. My real name, which I do not hide, is James Williams. And I'm excited to be back with you guys, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about Dogman. We got a hell of a lot going on, man. We got a hell of a lot going on. I am dogwaters.com, dogmancams.com. Whew, Lord, I'm putting in that work. Hello to everyone in the chat. I see the beautiful Marquita Jones in the chat. I see the lovely Wendy Wilson in the chat. I see Gerald Wilson in the chat. I see my sister Lakeia there, who has my back at all points and times. King Keith, what's happening, baby? Of all the nightmares with your crazy asses there. Fry, I see you. Paul Perry, what's up? Ed Kung Fu, the Impromptu Truth. Guys, I love you all. Miss Purvis, what's going on, girl? You named after a city in Mississippi. Your last name is from a city in Mississippi. Guys, we got a lot going on. I've been banging away for this Occupy Halloween broadcast. So Occupy Halloween, let's talk about that before I open the phone lines. Saturday from 12 noon till Halloween night at midnight. I think that's Halloween night this Sunday. You will be getting content dropped all day across my channel, across Dogman Cam's channel. And we're going to be bouncing around with all kinds of stuff. Starting at 12 noon on Saturday, I'm going to stream everything I have Dogman. Everything I have Dogman is streaming. All at one time. It's going to stream all freaking night. Well, it's going to stream until Sean comes on. I think Sean comes on at 7 p.m. And Sean goes till 9. At 9, I'm going to pick up with Talking Dogman and take your phone calls when Sean goes off air. Probably 9 till midnight. I might run it hard. I might run it till 1 o'clock in the morning. And then from there, Drops start on the website the following day, starting at 10 a.m. You're going to get the rest of Onk, which we're going to talk about Onk in a few minutes. You're going to get a boatload of brand new Dogman encounters. Roshiba versus Dogman. It killed my dog. It's like 6, 7 gangster Dogman stories. Lights out Dogman encounter. You're going to get some Fio members. You're going to get on the website. You're going to be getting all kind of shit simultaneously. Onk is not coming out, to be clear. Onk cannot come out on YouTube. It will not come out on YouTube because I'll probably get indicted if that shit hits YouTube. So that'll be on the website. You'll get more vampire stories on the website. You're going to get, I think you guys just got the div. You got Vampire and the Poppins. Shit. The whiteboard is in the back. It's a lot of stories you guys are going to get on the website for Halloween. Also, Halloween is Vault and Chaos anniversary, so we wish them happy birthday, happy anniversary. Then, what's going to happen? I said this and I thought about it. I said this on Dogman Cams last night, and I had to retract this. I said I was going to open up the cameras to everybody, but then we realized the other night that somebody was hammering the camera. You guys already know somebody been trying to hack the website. That ain't going to work. But somebody was hammering the camera to where the upload and download speed was cut by 90%. So I realized, okay, every time I ever try and do something like just to help the masses, some jackass is always gonna mess it up. So instead, when the sun goes down, you're gonna have me streaming and talking. You're also gonna have Vault of Nightmare, Vault on his channel streaming. I'm gonna highlight the camera from my side. He's gonna be out by the fire telling stories. We're going to be monitoring, and we're going to be popping in and out, taking phone calls, but the screen is going to be Vault out there, and we'll pop in and out of his sound to see what's going on over there, checking for things. I know he's building a fire. I know it's dangerous. I know he's going to have that heat on him, and it's going to be an exciting night for you guys, and that's going to go on all freaking night long. We're going to watch them cameras. I don't think he's going to be out there all night long. I think over on his channel, Akea is going to do a blessing. That was what was being discussed. D-Doss is going to be dropping some content on Dogman Cams. I want to talk to a couple of other people, but I don't know. I kind of want to keep it in the family and just roll with it this way. Again, every time I try and reach out, some dumb shit happens. So whatever. It is what it is. We are strong enough to carry this on our own without any help whatsoever, and make it happen. So Occupy Halloween is going to be something nobody's ever done. We're always doing things that nobody's done. Nobody has a live streaming camera in Dogman or Bigfoot territory. Nobody's ever had a researcher out in the field, excuse me, I didn't mean to belch, out in the field while somebody was at a home base streaming it live, documenting everything going on where the audience themselves can witness what was happening. That's what's so significant about Dogman Cams. Oh, also, my goal is to have that Taylor camera back up by Saturday night. So yeah, I got to get on that in the morning. That was something I was supposed to take care of today. But I decided to go try this fishing bait that I made, and that shit ain't worth the shit. Like when I tell you it ain't worth the damn, I'm on the bridge fishing, everybody around me catching fish. I didn't catch a damn fish. That's the first time ever in my life I've been fishing and didn't catch nothing. I'm talking about since I was 7 years old. The first time in my life I have never caught anything at all. Craziness, insanity. So we're going to get these lines open. But before we open the lines, let's go take a look and see if One Eye Willie is out there. Because Willie be wildin'. Hold on. Let me get this cigar lit. For those of you out here that are new to the Dark Waters channel, this call-in show is unscreened open lines calls. So you can call in and talk. I ain't worried about it. That's the number on the screen, 504-354-0143. Tell your story, make your statement, say whatever the hell you want about Dogman. You can talk about demons, you can talk about Bigfoot, you can talk about whatever you want to. You want advice, call and get advice. If you're a troll, call and troll. Just don't be a little broad. Like we had a troll call in, curse and act a fool and hang up. Don't hit and run, man. That's bitch boy shit. If you're going to call in, you're going to say something, stick on the line, let me say something back. Don't hang up. I ain't going to be mad at you because it don't matter to me. I'm getting paid to do this. You not. You just wasting your time being a damn fool. So you can sit here and call up and act a fool. Oh, let me address something else. I'm glad I thought about this before I get started. I should have let in with this. Now, And I know they in the chat. To the people that's been hating on D Dogs, especially the people that's on that Lockbeard side of the fence, right? Here's what I need y'all to understand, and I'm gonna be 100% real with y'all. He ain't gonna say nothing else about y'all. He's been advised not to say nothing else. He's been advised to let y'all do what y'all do. Talk all the shit y'all want. You know, keep digging a hole. Like you got a shovel right now, and like you digging your own grave. So just dig that bitch. Dig it and keep. I want you to dig the deepest fucking pit you can dig when it comes to that shit. Just keep digging. Keep digging. Because, ladies and gentlemen, here's the situation. You got a man who committed a crime. It's been public. Served his time. Came back to the community. He's been humble and apologetic from the beginning. I've expressed how disappointed I was in him for the whole shit. A lot of people expressed their disappointment in him. But for whatever reason, people don't want to let it go. I understand why, because there's people behind the scenes who are ass hurt and upset, and they just want to constantly try and hurt the man. But here's the thing. He rolling with me. I'm not going to let him violate nothing that's going to let him go back to prison. So you ain't going to have him getting under his skin, getting irate, screaming, fuck you, blah, blah, making threats. That shit not happening. We too smooth. It's not going to happen. But you can try. I want you to try. I want you to do everything you can so everyone can see it. I encourage you to try. Say all the nasty things you can say. Show your hand. I want you to show your hand. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know this about the whole Bigfoot, Dogman, paranormal community, this community is a community full of motherfucking misfits. Period. This is the shit that completely had me flabbergasted. Like this community is a community of black sheep and misfits. People who were on drugs. People who have been to prison. Some of your biggest names. Like people who've had issues in their lives. But it's crazy because you a bunch of fucking misfits. You the black sheep in your family that believe in Dogman or believe in Bigfoot, and your family members look at you like you fucking crazy when you talk about it. But when it comes to drama and somebody making mistakes in their life, oh, you can't move past that. You got to take the man little video down because somebody said something about it. But all you motherfuckers are misfits. And the problem is, you lie to yourself. I don't lie to myself. I know my background. I know my history. I know what I did. I was a dog when it came to what I did. Still a dog when the time comes. So I don't have no problem dealing with somebody who has had any type of issue. Because it's not my place to judge that person. It really isn't. It's not my place to judge. Now, it's my place to make a decision as to if I want that person around me based on their habits and their tendencies. Not like if you robbing and murdering and raping and killing and touching on little boys and little girls, I'm not going to have you around me. But when I check into your background, if it is what it is, I ain't talking about no speculation. This person said that. I'm talking about documented paperwork. When I look at the paperwork, I'm going based on what you was charged with, what you was convicted with. And period. So I just think it's amazing how a community full of misfits, literally, think about it. My girl, Heather Wade, I love her. That's like a sister to me. Heather Wade was the closest, like she inherited Art Bell's legacy, was a stripper. The pictures was everywhere. Right? The community is a community full of motherfucking misfits. And that's all it is to it. So it's a bunch of misfits throwing arrows at other misfits. You got to be fucking crazy. Like you got to be out your mind. Every last one of y'all in here is a black sheep, and you know it. Because you got family members that you go and talk to about, Bigfoot, Dogman. They look at you like you're crazy. The fuck are you talking about? You got a Bigfoot. And I'm not talking to my family because I know y'all, we don't rock like that. You know what I'm saying? But for those listening that are like on the fringes, you guys are playing around on the edges of the dark water. You dip your toes in there. Oh, it's too cold. Oh, it's too cold it's too dark. I can't see to the bottom. I'm talking to y'all. Look around you and realistically look at the people. I only know one person in this community that's not a misfit. And that's Tony Merkel. That's the only motherfucker I know that's not a misfit. Literally. Tony about straight as an arrow. Outside of that, everybody's a misfit in their own way. You got people who were misfits when they were youngsters doing wild shit. They on TV. And that's what life is. Life is a progression. Life is about getting better. We go through shit in life. You a fucked up person if you want to hold that in front of people and highlight it and, oh, I'm going to hold this in front of your face. Satan was the accuser. The devil himself is the accuser. The closest thing you could be to Lucifer and Satan himself is running around accusing people and reminding people of the mistakes they made. That motherfucker D-Doss knew the mistake he made. He paid the price for it. Set his ass in a fucking cell and had to protect this asshole for 12 months. I think he knows he made a fucking mistake. I'm pretty sure he knows he made some fucking mistakes. You dig? So, I say this to keep it 100% real all the way through. And if somebody want to check me on it, Marvin, go back and look at the history. Marvin Allen. I know what the deal with Marvin was. I still supported Marvin. Wolf. Wolf came out and told you the shit that he had going on with him. I still fucks with Wolf. To the extent that we do. Like, just don't be no hypocrite, man. And stop letting other people's issues, like for real, other people's issues, stop like pouring fuel on other people's shit. Because you think it's going to get you views or you think it's going to get you respect, because it's not. I'll tell you how this industry works. For example, the guy Lockbeard, right? You come out, you do the little video on D-Doss, you talk 5 hours about another motherfucker business. First of all, when I looked at the video, I don't know nobody who got 5 hours of their time to talk about somebody fucking else. You got to be a fuck boy to spend 5 hours talking about another grown-ass man business. But outside of that, how do you think anybody in this field would work with you? With the exception of haters. Because haters going to kind of congregate together. But if I'm looking at the situation, and I don't know you, I'm sitting there saying, okay, this dude done talk shit about Wes Garmer. Wes Garmer's big as fuck. Now he talking about this D-Doss dude. So you trying to make a name on yourself dissing other people instead of putting in your work. Put in your work to build your brand. Don't make your name just dissing people and talking about people. Nobody gonna fuck with you, dog. Because everybody else is around here putting in their work. Literally, everybody else is putting in their work. Even my fucking arch nemesis. Y'all know I can't stand Vic. That motherfucker put a video out every Friday. He been doing that shit since 2015. Can't nobody fucking undercut that man work ethic. That bitch be dropping. Bang, he gonna hit you in your mouth on Friday. It don't matter. He put in his fucking work. And I don't like his ass for shit. I respect the work ethic, but I don't like him. Everybody putting in their work. So if you think you gonna just sit up here and talk shit about another motherfucker and not put in no work and grow, come on, dog. You on person, you fooling yourself. And when everybody see what you doing, you're gonna be stuck right there in that corner with 100 subscribers, 200, whatever the fuck you got. You're gonna be right there. Because ain't nobody fucking with you because you's a hater. Especially now that they know you ain't got no dog in the fucking fight. That's just crazy. That's crazy. And that's just real shit. Also, guys, excuse me. This cigar is burning wrong. Kirby's going to be coming through for Halloween. I forgot about that. Kirby. For those of you guys who've never heard Kirby and you're new to the family, I'm going to tell you like this. When Kirby is talking, there's a couple of things you do. Don't eat and don't drink. Because you are going to choke when Kirby is talking. I'm telling you. Don't. You know how in the movies they had the spit takes when people spit the water out their mouth? I'm telling you, do not drink any fluids. Do not try and eat any food while Kirby is on air with me. Because you are going to vomit, choke. You might die. Kirby is crazy. I mean, he's absolutely insane. So Kirby is coming through. For those of you who've heard Kirby, you know how he gets down. Kirby is the comedian of the Dark Waters family. And he's a secret weapon. I don't unleash Kirby unless, some shit goes down. I feel sorry for the person I ever unleashed Kirby on. I haven't done it thus far. I just let Kirby do what he do. But he'll be back with us. So Halloween, y'all got some smoke coming, man. I'm telling you. You got some smoke coming. If you ain't never heard of Kirby, go back and listen to the interviews with Kirby. You will be laughing. It's KIR-B. Keeping It Real Brother is what it stands for. KIR-B. Not KIRBY. It's KIR-B. So, last night, we were on Dogman Cams. I thought we saw One Eye Willie. Stayed up a little while, kind of late, messing around with it, and I didn't see him again. So let's go check the cameras. Let's do that. That's what I was talking about before I got distracted, dealing with the dumb people that are trying to make that man go back to prison. Like, I'm gonna let that dude go back to prison. Like, I'm gonna sit here like I'm Boo Boo the fucking foo foo, and gonna sit here and let that man make that kind of mistake. Y'all bitches retarded. All right, let's see. This is Real Link. Let's get to the camera, baby. Let's get to the cams. Let's get to the cams. Mama, there's wolves in the house. All right, let's see. How do I fix this? I need to do display capture. Turn that off. And I need to go here. All right, let's see what's going on in the woods. Let's shrink you. Let's extend you. Let's bring you there. Let's do this to you. And let's see if there's any smoke out here. Alright, so for those of you who don't know who One Eye Willie is, it is a Bigfoot with one eye that we have. Well, let me pause. I don't know if that's Bigfoot. Let me, first of all, we don't know what the hell it is. All we know is it's a cryptid with one eye that has been seen out here. It doesn't look like he's here right now because you will see him right in this area. You will see the eye shine. We were up late last night looking. People saw things over here. Let's go fluid and take it from a different look. No, I don't see anything. Clear. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything whatsoever. We're missing a little extra light. Hold on, let me see if I can get that light. Bo, give me some more light, man. If you're listening. If you haven't hit the like button and you're in chat, hit the like button. Bo, if you're listening, give me some light back there real quick. And let me get rid of this sound for a second. So last night, I think we got off at 2:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. And people were seeing things. I can't tell you exactly what everybody was seeing. I didn't see certain things. Wait, well, maybe that was him. No, that's something else. Um, but nonetheless, you have the opportunity to check this out if you're a member of I Am Dogman Cams. I mean, dogmancams.com. So for Halloween night, we can't do a fire right here under the camera where you see my mouse circling. So we're gonna probably talk to Vault about chopping down these bushes right here and leaving this maybe portion. Now we probably just chop all that down. And I think he's gonna go further out into this area here and build the campfire. And he will be out there. I don't think he's gonna cook any bacon, so don't ask him to cook any bacon. That's a terrible idea because, as you guys know, if anybody knows anything about Bigfoot and Dogman, bacon will make them come and track you down. So don't do it. We won't do it. We don't want you doing it unless you just so happen to want to die and you really, really want to see a cryptid. Go to the woods where there's activity, or go to any of those coordinates I put out and start cooking you some bacon and get ready to run. That's all I'm telling you. That's on you though. Holla at me when you're done. If you make it out of there, holla at your boy. Let me know what's happening. So I don't see anything because Willie's normally right in this area between these two branches up to about right here and over. But you would clearly see the eye shine. I don't see anything. We've been intentionally leaving them alone, not to aggravate the hell out of them before Halloween. because once you start agitating them, they start doing stuff around that house, and we don't want that. So that'll be going on. Now, for those of you who are members, when this second camera goes up, which would be further out in the woods, you can play around with the alarms and you can play around and talking and doing all the rest of that stuff. But for this camera, don't mess with any of that. Look at that little bug. Looks like a rod. All right, let's get off of this. There's nothing there. Let's get the lines open. Let's take us some phone calls, baby. Phone calls, baby. There we go. All right, we about to open these phone lines up and see who calling and what they got going on. So, guys in the chat, the number is 504-354 0143. Wave One says, "Where do I find the chords and the little coordinates?" Go to my Facebook page, and there should be a set of coordinates there. Go to the YouTube Dark Waters YouTube channel, and then go through the community tabs, and there is a hell of a lot of coordinates on there. All right, the lines are officially open, and I can take some calls. Someone suggested that I try. Oh, we got hit immediately. Hey, this is Dark Waters. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Carrie, and I'm calling from Miami, Florida.
From Miami, Florida. What's happening in Miami, my man?
Nothing much. Just enjoying the show. Just enjoying the live stream.
You know, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I was in Miami, and
Oh yeah.
I was out there with my cousin. I have a cousin. He looks like Boris Kojo. The dude literally, like when we would go out and hang out, like girls would like ask him for autographs because they thought he was Boris Kojo. And so we out there hanging out on the strip, and I had never seen such beautiful women in my life, dude. Like I almost didn't come home. Like I was like, dude, how do you live here? And he was like, man, you kind of get used to it. I was like, this shit makes no sense. Like I would have AIDS, herpes. Telling you, dog.
Man,
It would
everybody
fall
that
off,
come
bro.
down there say the same thing.
Yeah, fall off, dog. I was like, what the hell? I mean, beautiful. I'm just like, this can't be. Maybe I was like, did I die and go to heaven? I mean, it's crazy. Anyway, dog, I just wanted to tell you that. I don't know how you live that, bro, because I couldn't do it. I got a thing for beautiful women, man, and I lose my mind. It would fall off.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to call and say the thing that actually got me watching your show was an experience that I had a while back. I live in Miami Gardens. This is like an urban area.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, you have a lot of different cultures here. It's a lot of religions down here.
Oh yeah, y'all wild with it down there, bro. Y'all got all kind of stuff down there.
Yeah, you got a lot of voodoo and Santeria and stuff like that going on down here, and you can definitely sense and feel a lot of those spirits whenever they come about.
You mess with the wrong woman, huh?
No, fortunately, no. No, I didn't have any interactions like that.
All right.
But it was one night. Hold on, give me 1 minute. Let me pass my son over to my wife.
It's all good. Take your time. It's a little bitty baby you got right there.
Yeah, man. 2 months old.
Congratulations. Perfectly healthy,
Thank
no
you.
problems?
Yes, sir. Beautiful baby boy.
Good. That's a blessing, man. That's a blessing.
But so it's one night I'm outside. Now, the area that I lived in, we were renting out a duplex, and it was right next to where my grandmother's house was. Now, my grandfather is a pastor, so they've always kept that religious aspect over their property. And whenever you step onto their property, you can feel that it's, I guess, lived on by holy people.
Right.
You can definitely feel the presence in comparison to everything else. But the house that I lived in didn't necessarily feel that same aspect. Now I would go outside and smoke on my porch, on my side porch, and this was like, now that I think about it, yeah, this was like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I go outside to smoke, and inside of my grandparents' backyard, there's a very large tree. It's like 2 stories, 3 stories tall,
Okay.
and I'm hearing something inside of the tree. Now, I'm not necessarily paying it any much attention. I know we have raccoons and possums and stuff like that, so I'm thinking maybe it's one of them running the power line or something. So, in my grandparents' yard, there's 2 trees. Now, this tree was in the far back left. There's a tree in the right, and then right next to that tree is where the fence is that separated my grandparents' yard from the yard that we lived at. And there was a tree there. So in my backyard, there was 2 trees as well. There was one to the far left and one in the middle. So there's a total of 4 trees in a row. And I'm outside smoking, and I hear something inside the far left tree scurrying around. And I hear branches moving. Now, this is up in the tree. This isn't low down. And as I'm hearing the branches move, I'm like, what is that? I don't see anything. I see the branches moving, but I don't physically see anything. So whatever it is, it jumps from that tree to the second tree in my grandparents' backyard. I don't see it jump, but I hear it jump from the tree. I hear the branches breaking. Now, at this point in time, I didn't really have that much smoke left. So the little bit of smoke I did have, I wanted to enjoy it. But I'm hearing what I'm hearing, so like I'm conflicted on finishing my smoke or running inside the house.
Right, right.
So it jumps from that far right tree in my grandparents' backyard to the far left tree in my yard.
Oh,
So
hell
now I'm
no.
like, okay, what the fuck? I hear it jump from that tree to the middle tree in my yard. So now I throw down my joint and I'm getting ready to run inside the house. And whatever it is, I hear it jump from the tree onto the ground. Like you can hear the boom, and then all you hear is dum 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 running towards me. Like you hear the grass moving. I don't see what this is because it's dark. I just hear the shit. And when I hear it, I just run inside the house. Now, at the time my mom was there, she was asleep. And I ran inside the house so fast and I closed the door so hard, she woke up. And she came into the living room. She was like, what's going on? And I'm there with my ear to the door with it closed, listening to see if this thing was going to proceed and come towards the door. It never did. I never heard it retreat. I literally just stayed right there the whole night. My mom's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. Something chased me into the house. And she's like, something chased you into the house? I'm like, yes. She's like, is it still there? I'm like, I don't know. So me and her are just there. She eventually passes it off as like, maybe he just heard something or maybe he thought it was something else. But the whole night I stood up waiting to see if it would leave. I never heard it leave. The sun came up. I looked out the window. I never saw anything, but something did chase me. And because
Now,
of that, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were done. Say that last part you're gonna say.
No, I was going to say because of that, it made me go out and start looking for like creatures and stuff like that. And I ended up running into your Dogman story when you went out to Taylor.
Yeah, when I was being a full retard. Like people get upset when I use the word full retard, but they don't realize I was the first person to go full retard. Like they don't get it. Like I can say it because I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like I went absolute full retard, and I paid the price for it. Let me ask you this though. So it jumps from tree to tree, lands on the ground. You didn't see any eyes shine. You didn't see anything.
No. And if I
That's
would give
messed
a
up.
description, it seemed like it probably was the size of maybe a 6 to 8 year old child. Like it
Really?
was bigger than an animal for sure, but like It wasn't full grown human size, whatever this thing was.
And how
It
did you
damn
get to come to
sure,
that conclusion? Because you said you didn't see nothing, but how you came to that conclusion? Was it based on the sound of it hitting the ground? Was it
yes.
based on how it was in the trees?
The sound of the trees, the fact of like those trees were they were pretty big, but those branches wouldn't support me. If I was in those trees, those branches probably would have broke. So I'm assuming it would have been something like smaller than a full adult size
Let me
for the
ask you something
branches to
about your
not
family
break.
members over there. So your family members, were they people who were heavy in the spiritual warfare? Because you never know. It could have been they got beef. They had beef with somebody that was in a Santeria or into voodoo. Because some of those people are very, very powerful. Did they have any issues with anybody?
Oh, from my understanding, no.
Okay, so couldn't be that.
I couldn't say that they did. They never really discussed their business with their grandchildren like that. Like they'd probably explain it to my mom or something, but they wouldn't tell it to me.
What about your mom's reaction? She believed you. Was she kind of like confused, or did it? Because it sounds like she wasn't surprised.
Well, my mom has had spiritual encounters before.
Okay.
Um, she's told me things that has happened to her, things that she's seen at a younger age, and I never really believed her to the extent of like I would hear the story and I'd be like, oh, well, I didn't see it, and you don't necessarily seem to be too shaken up about it. Like you seem like it's bothering you, but you seem all right enough to function. So maybe it wasn't that bad of an experience. But as I got older, I eventually started seeing most of the stuff that she was referring to, different entities.
Ah, I got you. I got you. So that explains why she wasn't surprised. And she was like, okay, something chased you in the house. What was it? Because I know my mom, when I was younger, if that would happen, she'd be like, what the hell you talking about, boy? What the hell you talking about came in this house, chasing you in the house? Sit your stupid ass down somewhere. And then I would have to show her. And she'd be like, oh, shit, that is something. You know what I'm saying? That lady was
You,
crazy, dude. She was
you
funny.
know, I wanted to like go out there and look to see what it was, but the fact that it jumped from tree to tree and chased me like into the house, I was like, yeah, I don't know what this is, and yeah, I don't have time to be fighting no whatever.
Now that neighborhood, what's around that neighborhood? Is it like is it super urban? Is it rural? What's the in the neighborhood like? Is it like swamp around? Because you guys got a lot of.
It's
I mean,
it's 183rd Street, 37th Avenue, Miami Gardens. It's an urban area right next to a highway, bunch of houses, bunch of schools, businesses. Like there's nothing over here that would indicate rural or like anywhere vegetation wise.
okay,
Like
that's
this is
weird.
just the definition of a concrete jungle in this particular area. Just all urban.
And you weren't messing with no stuff, no magic or nothing, dabbling in nothing at
No,
all.
no, no, no. Never been into anything like that.
That's weird, man. That's really really weird. It's a kind of out of place activity. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't think you'll have that kind of activity around them, but you never know. It depends on what about your neighbors? Any neighbors that you knew of that was into Santeria, voodoo, hoodoo, voodoo?
Yeah, it was a lot of them around there. It's like three houses down. You had a voodoo priestess, and like I want to say 2 blocks over, you had a bunch of people who practiced Santeria over there. So it was a lot of stuff going on in that area as far as contacting spiritual entities.
That's the only thing. It seems like it could be something spiritual. You know, they're pretty powerful, bro. That's one thing I tell people: leave them people the hell alone. They are pretty powerful when it comes to depends on what type of stuff they use, and then the real ones like the ones down here, they badass. They are on that level. Yeah, they're on that level, and you got to be careful dealing with them. All right, bro. Anything else you wanted to let everybody know about? That's a great story. I wish I could give you more insight into what it could have been, but it doesn't. It doesn't like have any of the hallmarks of of being your traditional Dogman or Bigfoot deal because it's in a
Right.
really urban area, and so it leads me to believe that either it was something that someone summoned into that area, but I don't know what it would be that they summoned in. We would need to know more about what was going on spiritually at that time. It doesn't sound like you guys were like into that hoodoo community at all,
No.
which means that you probably don't know the beef. Like there's beef down here all the time in New Orleans with voodoo and hoodoo like practitioners. Like they got you think the Bigfoot and Dogman beef is something these motherfuckers down here be beefed out. Like I like, man, what? You know what I'm saying? Like such and such had a car accident yesterday and said her car turned on its own. What? Like what you mean a car turned on like the wheel turned on
What
its
the
own? Like
hell?
they got some beef down here in this bad boy, man. But that's the stuff I don't really get into and talk about because now I'm talking about it and I'll be in the beef. I'm leave that. That ain't none of my business. I shouldn't even said that shit. I'm telling you, man, they got these dudes. These people down here is on some next level stuff. They're on some next level
Man,
stuff.
I believe it. I believe it. But I mean, only thing I want to say is keep doing what you're doing. I love how you got the whole community going with you, Vote, and D and everybody. Like, keep all that up. And I look forward to whatever else you bring to the table. I love
All right,
everything that you're doing.
thank you, bro. Make sure you pay attention for Halloween night. I'm going ham. I'm going in.
I will do.
All right, man. Good talking to you.
All right, man. Much love.
Peace out. Great phone call as usual. We got some great callers, man. I really enjoy talking to you guys. And again, like I've told you, if you're new to the channel and you don't know how I get my stories, because I've had people say, "Oh, you make these stories up." Like anybody who's spoken to me, oh God. Hey, this is Dark Waters. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Dog. My name's Bradley. I'm calling from North Carolina.
What's up, Bradley? What's happening? They call you Brad or they call you Bradley? What people call you by? What you go by?
Uh, I go by Brad.
That's what I figured. What's up, Brad? What's happening, baby?
Not much, my brother. Just chilling at the house. And I got a story for you, man.
Let me hear it. Lay it on me.
This is a Dogman story. It was told by my dad. And I ain't never known my daddy to be no liar. Down here in North Carolina, we ain't about that. But well, I don't get on talk shows much or do anything like that. But I saw this was live, and I had to recount this story. My dad and a buddy of his were hunting on game lands called South Mountain Game Lands. You can look them up in the state of North Carolina. It's a large tract of public hunting lands.
Okay.
And they've been hunting in a spot. It was kind of off the beaten path. It was, I don't know if you're too familiar with hunting tactics, but people on public land, they'll usually go back in the woods miles and miles and miles to get away from other people. And they walk back in there. And they've been hunting there a few days and been seeing a few deer. And what day was it? I think it was like November the 20th, 1968.
Okay.
And they went in for an evening hunt. And I'm trying to remember the story. He told me the best I can. I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest with you, D.
Man, ain't nothing to be nervous about. Just tell a story. I'm not judging you. Tell your story, baby. Don't sweat it. I'm not gonna bust you across your head and be like, you're lying. Don't worry about it. Tell your story.
Brother. Well, they had been noticing something strange in the area. They'd be seeing less and less deer over the period of about 2 weeks of hunting pretty much the same area. And they split up. This was back before they had any radios or cell phones or anything like that, you know. And they had split up, and one went to one ridge, and my dad, he went to a hollow next to a little creek. and they were hunting. They were seeing a few deer, and Dad told me he was sitting there about to shoot a deer, a big doe, and said all of a sudden she just looked up and just stared right past him and was looking down the holler, down the creek. And he said all of a sudden she just turned inside out and took off running. I hadn't seen him, he hadn't moved or anything like that. And he said it was getting dark anyway, so he was going to go meet up with his buddy. So he started walking out, and they started hearing something that sounded like a hyena, is what he said. And, you know, that in itself is weird, but he tried for years to tell me it could have been like something that got out of a zoo, but I think he was in denial, basically. You know, we were raised not to talk about stuff like that much. But he had met up with his buddy, and they got on this logging road, and they were walking down the logging road, and they noticed everything went quiet. You know, the cliche, everything went quiet. Dad said it was like literally stepping inside of a sound chamber, like nothing. No wind, no crickets, no night creatures, no nothing. He said they got to walking, they had about a mile left to get to the gate, and they had some people waiting for them to come pick them up. And, well, what did he say? My dad was still around. I could ask him, but I'm trying my best to remember what he told me. He said they were walking down the logging road and got about a mile from the gate, and they heard something walking behind them. So, you know, they ain't scared of much. My dad hunted basically his whole life, and his buddy the same. And he said they could excuse me, they started to smell something like rotten meat. That's what he described it to me as. And they got closer to the gate, and the people that were meeting them to pick them up flashed the headlights on the truck to signal them, like, hey, we're here. And Dad told me as soon as their lights come on, that thing behind them hollered. Like, he said it sounded kind of like a hyena laughing. And they screamed from the truck, get down, get down. And Dad and his buddy dropped down, and the people in the truck started shooting. As soon as they stopped shooting, Dad and his buddy took off hauling toward the truck. And he told me that what the people inside the truck saw was, it looked, I know there's like a hyena type Dogman, I believe.
Absolutely. Yeah, there is.
And the men in the truck described it as basically 6 to 7 foot tall, about 200, 300, 400 pounds maybe. And they said I would give you names, but you know.
You don't have to get no names. We good.
But they said after they got Dad and his buddy in the truck, everything got everybody calmed down. They told them that when they shine the light, it was basically 10 yards behind them at the most, and that lends validity to how these things aren't seen and how they can be right up on you and you never know it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's amazing, man. It's
That's
amazing and terrifying.
that's a hell of a story, man. That's one hell of a story. That's a terrifying story, man. That they would be in a situation like that, and then for them to have to lay on the ground while people shoot over them. Um, that's insane. Is any of those guys still alive to this day?
One, and that's my dad's friend.
The one that was with him on the road?
hmm
You think he'd be willing to talk?
I may be able to get him to recount his experience, but I've lost touch with him. I ain't spoke with him in God 10, 15 years.
Yeah, that's hard to. If you ain't talked to somebody in 15 years, be like, "Yeah, man, how you been? I've been good. Okay, what's been going on? Tell me about this thing that tried to kill you in the woods." That ain't gonna work, bro. That's not gonna
Nah,
work. That ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work, man. That's scary. You did a good job telling the story. I don't know why you were so nervous, bro.
nah, man. Uh, I don't do this much. It's one of those taboo subjects. It's
You
just the
know,
way I was raised.
that's the hardest thing for me. Like when I put those ads out in the newspaper in like small towns, somebody will call, and the hardest thing is to break down the barrier to get them to actually talk. And guys that's listening, you don't know when he said, we don't talk about these kind of things. I've heard that literally 100 times. Like, man, we don't really talk about these things. I'm like, well, I'm gonna pay you to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Like people don't, people who've had real encounters and their family members have had real encounters. It's kind of tough to get them to talk about it. It really, really is. Um,
Yeah, because they don't want to seem crazy.
don't
I
want to seem
mean,
crazy. And the smaller the community, the worse it is because oh yeah, that's the crazy dude over there who said he saw a Bigfoot or saw a wolf, a werewolf, and that's the barrier that we have to break down in order to get to the truth, man. So I appreciate you trusting me and
hey
sharing that
man,
information with me.
no problem. But there's some more to that story.
Oh, I'm ready. I got a full cigar, baby.
Oh yeah, light the cigar. I wish I had me one. But well, a couple months later, it had been told through the grapevine, like you were saying, small communities, word spreads that a large creature had been killed by a farmer in the area near the South Mountain Game Lands. And when my dad was alive, he told me that a farmer had killed what the what the game wardens called a mutated coyote.
Oh, okay.
You know, I've watched a few. I've watched more than a few of your episodes and your live shows, and I know that's one of the mannerisms they use. Like they'll say, "Oh, it was a bear," or "It was this or that," and that's just. But they told, from what the man told my father, they told him to bury it and threatened him basically to ruin his life if he ever
Mm-hmm.
spoke a word about it. And he told my father. Now I'm not sure what happened after that. If they found out what he said, I would assume not. But I don't know, man. He might have had daggum FBI roll up at his front door, knocking on the door. Who knows?
Well, the witnesses I've talked to that have been in similar situations, they've been told to burn it and bury it, or the carcass has been taken. The last guy, and this guy is 82 years old. I don't have permission to tell his whole story because he's his grandchildren actually, well, not yeah, grandchildren actually like are online and they're into Dogman and Bigfoot, and they advised him not to come on. They told him to talk to me, but they advised him not to do an interview and not to have the story like produced because they were concerned about the way people behave. his story is epic, but it'll be a story that nobody ever hears because I'm not gonna break my word. But what I will say is, he was told to burn and bury it, and he knows exactly where the hell it's buried. Um, I asked him to disclose that to me. He's like, "Nah, I'm not doing that. Maybe when I pass away, my family can tell you, but I'm not doing it." I was like, "Okay, cool, no problem, bro. You know, I
That's
appreciate
that's
it."
another reason I came to you because you're trustworthy. You're a man of your word. You're a man of God. You're a man of your word, and I've got the utmost respect for you, DW.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. I try and keep my word on everything, man. Sometimes it get hard, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta take your licks because you told somebody you're gonna do something, you do it, and they don't do what's right. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly. Well, man, thank you so much for taking my call and letting me recount one of my dad's old stories. I'm sure if he was here now, he'd be saying, "What the hell are you talking about? Don't be telling that. People are gonna think you're crazy." And I can just hear him now.
No, not over here. Nobody gonna think you're crazy, baby. We appreciate you being brave and sharing the story.
Thank you, DW.
No, thank you, man. Have a good night,
You too.
man. That's some scary shit right there. Ooh, that's some scary shit right there, boy. Hit the like button for that one. Hey, this is Dark Waters. Who am I speaking to and where you calling from?
Hello?
Hey, it's me, man. You gotta turn that down in the background, playboy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's going on, D-Dub?
Man, smoking a cigar. About to talk to you. What's happening with you? What's your name, player?
Ain't nothing. I'm Brandon from Salisbury, Maryland, man.
Brandon from Maryland. What's going on in Maryland?
Yeah, I actually was just in the chat right now. I'm Brandon Laws in the chat. If anybody see me or whatnot, and I just wanted to give you a heads up. I'm not trying to solicit anybody else's page or anything like that, but just to kind of like connect connections. You know what I mean, for other people that are doing the same thing that you're doing that you might not be aware of. There's a white guy from Canada. I forgot his name, but he goes by the facts of how to
Yeah, I've
hunt.com.
heard. Yeah, How to
And
Hunt. Yeah, I heard of that dude.
yeah. And he has a lot of good information. Now, I know you're not with the shits as far as like going out into the wilderness and stuff like that,
Fuck
but
no,
I don't.
never.
Yeah. So like I don't really know Vault's information and stuff, but like maybe like him and Vault could get together and like you know what I mean, do some of that stuff because like he's really out there with the shits and going out and finding these positions and a lot of the stories that he talks about it actually happens around him in British Columbia. So I just think that it would be dope for like y'all communities and people to come together to try to figure this thing out more because a lot of the stories that y'all have similar correlations, whether it's to do with the physicality of the eye shines or stuff, or the spiritual aspects of it, or the UFO aspects of it. You know what I mean? Just a whole bunch of different things. Like just try to figure this stuff together. Especially talking about like underground bases and I don't want to go too deep, but you know what I mean? Like with the
Go
alphabet board
wherever you
connection
want,
and stuff
dude.
like that.
You can jump, hey
Well,
man. You
yeah,
can
yeah.
you can go deep, deep, deep in the dark waters if you want to. I don't give a shit. I would love to talk to him. The problem with this community is, and I'll say it. Like I don't really reach
Mhm.
out to too many people no more because, and I'm not saying this about that guy. I don't know the guy, but my experience has been, for the most part, is too much fuckboy bitch assness in the community, and a lot of it is
Yeah.
provoked by like just haters. That if I reach out to him, oh he's this, he's that, so now I got to overcome all of that shit. And in most cases, it's not beneficial for him to fuck up his money
Mhm.
to deal with all that drama
Mhm.
and slow his stuff himself down when people act stupid. But if we ever talk, you know what I'm saying, I would love to talk to him. I love hanging out with people just in general, and I like talking to researchers. So I would love to send him a camera to put somewhere where he is, where he knows there's some activity, and let's connect and see what's going on. So if you ever talk to him, let him know I'm about whatever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going in the woods. Fuck that. That shit ain't happening.
Yeah, I mean, like, I definitely believe that it could work. And also, just right quick, with when Vault went out there, I had seen some stuff too, and I was seeing what y'all was talking about. Like, you can't make that stuff up as far as like the eye shine being that high and stuff like that on that ridge.
Hell no! You
because
saw how
where I
high that
live at,
was? That shit was crazy,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. Like where I live at, I actually have a story too. I actually talked to Sean one time on his radio show, and I have a story where I live at in Maryland. I live on the eastern shore of Maryland, Salisbury, Maryland. It's like 30 minutes. I don't know if you know where Ocean City, Maryland is. It's
No,
like
I'm not
like
familiar
right off the
with it.
coast of the Atlantic Ocean. Okay,
Okay.
so we're like right off the coast. So I'm like 30 minutes from the beach. But in our area, we have this place called Twilly Center Bridge, and it's very old Native American grounds. A lot of Powhatan, Algonquin, and stuff like that. Actually, a lot of my ancestors. But we have a lot of mounds around there, and a lot of those mounds are sacred. So like when you go back there, you feel a certain electromagnetic energy when you go back there. So we went back there one night, and when we were back there, we actually seen some things manifest from the bridge because the bridge is over water, and they said that water is a portal. So like it's like it's kind of like swampish land, like kind of like in like New Orleans, like y'all swamp land, but not gators around. It's like more like ducks and stuff, but
Well,
it's like
that's
swamp like marshland. And we seen something walking around the tree line. About I'll say our trees, like we have a lot of pine in that area, so like our trees are around like maybe like 20, 25 feet. You know what I mean? Up. This thing had to be about like 8, 9 feet, and it was walking around the tree lines, and we were watching it. Because we used to go out there to creep ourselves out to sit on Twilly Bridge, because like we have like this old Twilly Bridge story if anybody wants to look it up. But yeah, it's definitely things going out there. And we have I think that there is a, now don't quote me on this. I'm just being hypothetical, but I think that there is a underground base or a base near my airport in Salisbury, Maryland, because we're about like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Andrews Air Force Base, and there's always military planes, like the big God, my parents are military, but I forgot what the plane is called. The ones that hold like a lot of the cargo, like C-230 or something like that,
yeah.
like the
C
ones
two
that hold the
thirty. I think it
cargo.
is.
Okay, yeah, they're always flying in, and we have a little airport. It's a small little airport, but they're always like circling and flying in. And one time we was outside, because where my neighborhood used to be, where I used to live, it's right across the street, literally about 10, 15 miles from our airport, and we would see these airplanes fly in. Well, one time we was outside. It was me and my friends. We was outside. I'm not gonna lie, we were smoking weed, but I'm not like doing no drugs. I'm not doing no crack. I'm not hallucinating or nothing like that. So we're just looking at the sky because we had a tennis court, and from the tree line you could just see the whole skyline, and it's like little lights out there. So it's not like a lot of light pollution. So you can see the whole sky and all the lights and stars and stuff. And we're just outside chilling, and we see this huge ball of light come from the left of the tree skyline of where you could see from the most, come at like a 45-degree angle. It goes up. It kind of looks like a huge, big light flare, but not a flare, like a mini sun. And it was kind of close, and it rose up, and it went like an arc, like a 45-degree arc, and it hit like the middle of where we were watching, and it literally said, like, and when it said, it shot out into like 6 different little, like it exploded. Literally exploded in front of our face, and then it just was gone. And we're like, what the fuck is that? Like, what the hell is that? So, like, it's just, like, weird stuff we didn't seen. Like, weird stuff, like,
That's
around our
insane.
area.
That's pretty
Yeah,
insane, man.
weird stuff. I mean, like, even the Bigfoot. Like, I have a trail this is one of the things I told Sean. I have a trail that I walk to go to the store that's literally right behind me. And it's kind of funny how the guy was talking about the little being that he's seen inside of the concrete area. Well, I don't live like in a city. It's not like a city, but it's a town. So it's not like super rural, but it is rural. But like right where I live, it's like I'm right behind like a little township area. So we have like a little food line there, Chinese restaurant, hair salon, So I have a path like literally from my townhouses to that area, but that path it's wooded, and we just made like a little makeshift path to get to it, so we didn't have to like walk around and go around the street and all that kind of stuff. So I was walking back one night, and it there's a light that shines from the back of the building, like right on the corner from the back of the building that starts from the path to go to my house that lights up a little bit of the path. So I'm walking and I felt that feeling that everybody says that they feel, where it feels like something's watching you. And I turned around and I looked to my left, another like 45-degree angle, looked to my left, right beside of a tree, and I was looking, and I kind of had to like adjusted my head a little bit, and when the light shined perfectly, I seen the eyebrow ridge, and the eyebrow ridge had to be about 8 feet up, right next to this tree. Like I said, we have pines around here. Now, this isn't like swampland or nothing like this. This is just regular dirt. So the pine is taller. So it's like right next to the tree, and I see eyebrow ridge. I see a little bit of nose, and it's just sitting there looking at me. I did not see eye shine. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see no eye shine. But when I looked at it and when I seen it, cause like it was like my brain had a like my eyes had adjusted the light. So when I seen it, that's when my stomach dropped. I just had a stomach drop feeling. It wasn't like fear. It wasn't like primal fear. Just like when you're on a roller coaster and you go down that decline.
Yep.
That's what I felt like. Oh shit! And I was like, oh shit! And I kind of froze. And then I had been listening to your story, so I knew. And, you know, I mean, it's common sense. Like I knew, like not trip, you know, and be scared and start running or nothing. I just was, because I was about maybe like 20 feet from it. So I just was like, okay, you're here, all right. So I just backed up from where I was to the sidewalk, because there's a sidewalk and then the parking lot starts. So there's a sidewalk. I'm about like another like 15, 20 feet from that. So I just back up about like 5, 10 feet, and I just turn around and keep walking like nothing's going on. And there's an orange light, like parking lot lights. Like there's an orange parking lot light that shines all the way down. Like there's like 4 of them that shines the parking lot that keeps the parking lot lit. So when I got there, like I felt fine. And then like there's a building, you know, I just cut off the building. I couldn't even see that area no more after I hit the corner. But I was like, did I just see what I thought I saw? Like, did I just see what I thought I saw? Like I literally called my mom. I'm like, Mom, I think I just literally seen a Bigfoot. Cause like I never like when I seen it, like it I don't know how to explain it. It just I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But it's just like that initial like flight or fight. But it was just like, like I just backed up. It wasn't even fear. Like I don't even know like what I felt. It wasn't even fear. It just was like, okay, you're here, I'm here. Let me just back up a couple steps. All right, cool. Because it wasn't like it was looking at me mean or nothing. I just seen the eyebrow ridge. And the eyebrow, like, it had, like, crinkles in, like in the middle part, like, kind of like where your third eye is. It was kind of, like, crinkled. But I couldn't, like, really see. But I could only see half of it because I guess the other half was behind the pine. So it was only, like, half of it out. So I could see, like, half of the joint and seeing it, like the ridge curling. So I'm like, okay. But, yeah, that's all I got.
Nah, it's smart that you backed out of there, man. It's real smart that you backed out of there. Like, most people don't understand. Bigfoot, in my opinion, with Bigfoot, you actually saw Vault doing it. If you go look at the cameras, he'll be on the camera and he's out there talking. All right, I'm aggravating y'all. I'm about to go. I'm leaving. If you go watch, you'll see him do the exact same thing. Communicate with him like, look, I'm leaving. All right, I done aggravated y'all. I'm about to leave y'all alone. Because it's smart to talk to him and let him know, hey, I'm getting the hell out of your area, giving you your space, as opposed to just pretending or acting like prey and taking off running, and then provoking their primal instincts to bat you across the back of the head and drag you into the woods. So you made a smart decision to just back the hell out of that, bro. I mean, it works out pretty well for most people who do that.
Yeah, like that's literally all I said to myself. I just was like, okay. I just backed up slow. I just was like, okay. Like it wasn't like no run. It wasn't like, oh, get out of there. I just was like, okay. Like this isn't no. Cause I felt it, and I'm not. Excuse me. I'm not nobody that's like scared or scary running. Like just like you've been through a lot of stuff in New Orleans. I've been through a lot of stuff here in Maryland. So like I know certain sequences and how to act in certain situations. But when I felt this, it was like literally like a roller coaster. Like just like my body just went to, oh, okay. All right, yeah, just leave this back out. I'm good. And I just turned around and kept walking, called my mom like, yeah, when you come in the house, just make sure you come straight in the house because I think I seen something on the side of the house. Yeah.
No, that's a, and you know what? That's an accurate description of the feeling that you get when you realize that there's some other shit out there. Because that's probably the most accurate description of what I felt when I initially was left on the side of the road and that car turned. I mean, that truck turned, and that little bit of light from those tail lights was gone. Like it was like
Mhm.
voop. Like oh fuck, I'm out here by myself. Voop. Like oh shit. And then my body started preparing for fight or flight. Well, it wasn't nowhere for me to run to, so I was just like, well, I'm gonna have to fight. You know what I'm saying? This is the dumbest shit I
Mhm.
ever did in my whole life. I did some
Mhm.
dumb shit. I will never put myself in a situation like that because I was completely ill-equipped to deal with what I was encountering. Like there was no way I could outrun that. There was no way I could fight it. I didn't have no pistol on me to shoot it because I didn't really. At that point in time, when I went going full retard, I didn't even believe the shit was real. I was like, I'm gonna go see. You know, I'm telling the dude the whole time, you bullshitting me, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, that ain't no bullshit, not at all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you, bro. I'm
and
a hundred
people
percent with you.
and people don't understand like the feeling is different from a human. Like I've been in situations where I've had a gun to my face, like you know what I mean, like being robbed or whatever. Like it's different from a human because you still feel like you have a chance.
Yep.
When I seen this joint and I seen how high it was, and I seen like the shoulder, like how big it was, and like the light cascade, like just how like big the head was, because I couldn't really see the body, but like how big the head was and the eyebrow line, I'm like, nah, 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 no, 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 nope, nope. So the next day, I actually went out there in the morning to go check and see if I could see any type of footprints or anything. And I don't know how these things do it. There was no footprints. There wasn't any. I couldn't see. I didn't see any track. No nothing.
And you're pretty
So
familiar with
I
tracking
don't
things
know.
in the woods. I mean, have you tracked an animal before?
No, like this thing, it wasn't in the woods, Dart. That's what I'm saying. Like this, like they, okay, right next to my townhouse, neighborhood, there used to be. They just tore down all the woods and built another townhouse, uh, development about like a year ago. So this was probably about like 2.5 years ago. They just built a new one, but before that, it was all woods. But when they tore it down, they still had like a strip of woods. So I don't know if these things was like migrating before that, but they were still migrating, but they didn't know that they tore it down, and then they found out that they tore it down, but they were still using it. You know what I mean? But it was just a strip. So like I'll say I'll give it like it's like a good like oh man okay I'll give it okay we'll go in yards like 10 it's probably like a good 30 yards right now. Like if I go out there right now and look at it, the strip, it's like 30 yards of woods going horizontal. Going longitude, it probably goes down maybe like a football field until you get to the street. Where there's a church at the end of it, and then from there, like you get like to the regular highway or the street. So like that whole area is like I'll say like maybe like a quarter of an acre of just woods right there. But on each side, like I said, on the other side that it is cleared, it's not residential. On the other side, it's business. But it's not a lot of businesses. Like it's like a little strip. Like it's very small. Like, I wish I could send you pictures. It's real small. It's probably like five little small buildings where they have like chiropractic, whatever, and then that swings around and it goes to we. I don't know if you know about Big Lots, but we have a Big Lots and then a Dollar General and then a couple other little small businesses and then a food line right there. It's like a little strip mall. But like that area, it it's like a quarter acre of woods, and that goes from if you go from a this is Route 50. If you go like past those businesses, it's like a Route 50 that takes you to Ocean City. If you go past that, there's another set of businesses, but if you go past that, it's all farmland. It's nothing but farmland. Some of it is wooded, some of it is taken down because they like grow corn and stuff around here. So like it's rural, but then it gets like business, but it's rural, gets bit, you know.
Right, right. So it's kind of spotted development, but it's built on old
Exactly.
farmland.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's a perfect mash mix up for them to kind of come in and view and look and check you guys out. That's pretty much perfect. Especially there's it sounds like you got a pretty much a little landing strip or a little alleyway where there's enough cover for them to hide and work their way up to where the populated area is, and just check you guys
Exactly,
out, and then go back on
exactly,
about their business. Yeah, that's creepy,
exactly.
dude.
And like this is like it's a prime area for a lot of like vermin to come through, a lot of like geese and ducks, birds. Like we have like a lot of like little wildlife that come through this area also that migrate. Cause where we live, like it's like very good air quality. Like I said, like we're real close to the beach. Our soil was very good. We always got plants and stuff growing, watermelon, tomatoes, corn, whatever it is. So yeah, it's a lot. And then like I said, like when you go to the outskirts, which is only about 10-15 minutes, I could take you right to it right now. Like I could hop in the car, boom, I'll take you right to Twilly Bridge in 15 minutes. It's nothing but wilderness, woods. Some of it is protected by the state, some of it is private property, and some of it is just it's just woods.
Oh, that's cool, bro. That's a
Yeah.
great story, man. That's an awesome story. Anything else you want to share?
Just that I appreciate everything. Just like all of us say, man, we just appreciate everything that you do. I've been a long time subscriber since the start. I've been seeing this from the start culminate and get bigger and bigger. Can't wait to see where you're going. When I get some more computer skills and stuff like that, hopefully maybe I can work with you one day or something like that. Or next time we come down to New Orleans, hook up with you and go around. Yeah, yeah. Just supporter, man,
Well, I'm
from
in
the
the
Eastern
helping
Shore.
business, bro. Get your computer together and get rolling. I'm in the helping business for sure. I think that the more people we have that actually kind of have a scientific approach to this, whether it be just from data collecting on encounters to witness questioning the right way, not
Mhm.
just people just talking. It's done conversationally. Then we can get to the
Mhm.
truth faster. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think we got a
Yeah.
lot of truth right now. I think the field just needs more evidence. We just need a look. We
Yeah.
need a hell of a lot more evidence, and that's my next task, which is to tackle the evidence. Nobody else wants to tackle it. Um, there are people who've tried to tackle it, and they've used the old strategies, which seem to be working. There's some pretty good Dogman pictures out there from the North American Dogman Project. Those guys done pretty well, but the most part,
Yeah. Killing it.
it's monetization. You know what I'm saying? It's a popular topic, so people want to monetize it. I'm not hating on them for that. Do what you do, but let's get us some evidence. You know what I'm saying?
And one last thing. One last thing that not a lot of people don't be giving you enough credit for. That I'm gonna give you your flowers right now since I'm on the phone with y'all. I meant to have been telling you this, because I am so glad that we got more brothers in this right now because this space was missing a lot of brothers that needed to be heard and need to be said. Because even with everything that we, not trying to make it a black and white thing, listeners, none of that stuff. I'm just saying a lot of us have also seen these things, but in our culture, it's very taboo to speak about these things, especially if you come from the hood or you come from the streets or whatever, and you see certain things, you get ridiculed for these things. So for this brother to be putting this stuff out and also bringing people together like Sean and people from all walks of life that just have this this fascination and this correlating these things together and having these experiences together and able to talk to each other. It's actually bringing multiple races together all around the world, and anything that can bring us together is, I think, is a win for the world. Anything that we can share to come together more and fucking beat these globalistic motherfuckers, excuse my language, what I mean, that always
Yeah.
try to pit us together against things, what I mean, for this and that, so that they can, what I mean, profit off of our problems. You know, it's a great thing. So shout out to everybody, man. I love you all.
Nah, man, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for giving my flowers, because I really appreciate it. And you're right. It The globalists are using tactics to turn race against race, mother against father, son against daughter. Like it's insane what they're doing. But I don't think they're going to win. From what I'm seeing, they're in the process of
No,
getting
they're
their
not. They're not
asses
gonna win.
kicked. They're in the process of
No,
getting their
no,
asses
yeah,
kicked for
no.
real.
Look. I had a realization about this. Like, I had a realization about this, a minute ago, actually. But it's really coming into fruition now. I was like people. I understand that a lot of people are Christians and things like that, and I say I'm everything because our people created everything. So you know what I mean. I'm into a lot of different spiritualities and stuff like that. I don't tap into certain things, of course. You know what I mean. I'm not doing a Ouija board, nothing like that. Blah. I keep it light. You know what I mean. But I'm very, very much involved. So if you want to think like a god, you have to think like a god, and you can't think like a human. So anything that happens, whether it's good, bad, losing people, gaining people, anything that we go through, it's a deeper experience. It's a deeper meaning to it. It might seem bad to us, but we're thinking selfish. We're thinking as a human. Just because you lost your mother, you don't know that that might have been the fire that you needed to gain something bigger inside of your life that you're going to help another 100,000 people or whatever. You don't know. So just because it looks like they're winning doesn't mean that they're winning. They showed it inside of the show with um Loki, the Loki show, how there's timelines and how things break off the timelines and stuff. But the guy at the end of the show, he was like, the timeline ain't break off. I made the timeline break off. I wanted y'all to do this because this is all part of the plan. So this is all part of God's plan, and they will not win. It's all part of God's plan.
I'm 100%
Anything
with
that
you,
they try
brother.
to do will fail. It's all a part. We see it right now. They're trying to do it with the Jabbington. And we see now people are coming together more than ever. So, hey, it is
Man,
what
I
it is.
appreciate the call, bro. Anytime you want to call back in and just chop it up, call in, bro. I really enjoyed talking to you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Love you, man.
All right, later.
Peace.
Man. And so, let me hold on before somebody else call in so I can say this. How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? Give me a second, guys. All right. I'm going to open the lines back up in a second. I want to say this real quick. So, the reason why I was able to get up to speed so quickly on Dogman and Cryptids and everything is not because of how smart I am, it's because how intelligent you guys are and how much knowledge you guys possess when it comes to this. Um, and that's how I was able to get up to speed. It's because the audiences are so well versed and so knowledgeable about things. It's sad to a certain extent because, like I alluded to earlier, a lot of us are black sheeps and misfits, but it's the tide is shifting to where the black sheeps and the misfits are now proven to be right when it comes to a lot of stuff. You know, if you're anyone that can't look back 24 months and say, holy shit, 24 months ago I never thought I would have been in this type of situation, and sit there and lie to themselves right now and say, man, everything is all good, if life is like it used to be, they're a fucking idiot, man. You really, really are. Like, something wrong with you. Everything is out in the open right now, all across the board. And I believe that this topic that we're in, these platforms that we have to talk about things, as long as we talk about them intelligently, like he just did, and use the right words, we can help a whole lot of people. But you got to have a set of kahunas to do that. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a set of balls, and you got to have the ability to communicate in a manner in which it doesn't hurt um, the people who have their platforms that can get information out there. So I just love how intelligent you guys are, man. You guys are smart. You guys are witty. And I like the fact that the Dark Waters family is this way. Like, for example, there may be somebody out there pretending like they're from the Dark Waters family, running around starting shit, doing shit, but we just don't do that. Now, we'll bust you in your mouth once you start, but we ain't running around starting nothing. Now, you start some shit, it's going to be some shit. All right, let's get the lines back open because someone was trying to call, and we still have a solid 40 minutes left. So let's get them. They open. Call in, baby. Call in. Call in. 504 354 0143. At some point in time, I am going to memorize that number. There we go. Hey, this is Dark Waters. Who am I speaking to and where are you calling from?
Hey, man. My name is Crush, and I'm calling from Mountain Lake Terrace, Washington.
Okay, Crush as in like crush a car, as in mountain, like the drink Crush?
Yeah. I'm nicknamed after the turtle from Finding Nemo.
Oh, my God. All right. This is about to be fun. Go ahead, Crush. What's on your mind, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. Nothing much. I just wanted to say, I found your channel through like one just random pop up from that one story with the whole like I shot it in the eye thing with the Dogman thing. That thing was like badass on that. I've never experienced anything on that level. I've had a few paranormal things, like staring down a shadow person, seeing them like completely disappear on me. Because like every time I've ever heard like anything when it comes to like ghost stuff, it's always been like I like blinked and it disappeared. So like when I saw it, I refused to blink and I completely saw it like go slowly transparent.
Was that at your house? Where did this happen at?
That was at my dad in Fresno, California, at my dad's condo when he was up there for a little bit. I was up there with my girlfriend at the time, and I got woken up in the middle of the night, and something told me I needed to look behind me, and there was this shadow person looking like it had this square object in its hand that it kept like bringing up to its face and then down to its lap over and over again.
You and your girlfriend had been doing the do? Were y'all doing the nasty before it showed up?
No, we were just straight sleeping on like
Okay.
an air mattress in the middle of like the living room.
I'll tell you, there's been some people who I don't know if the shadow man is a perv, but there's been, and I think in some cases, some shadow man encounters are astral projection. But there have been a couple of people I talked to who've seen that while they were doing the do, or after they got through doing the do, and it was like, okay, why would a shadow man appear then and there? And I was like, that's someone who has the ability to see you, and astral projector, they're just spying on you. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, but other than that, I haven't really had that many experiences on like anything.
Well, no, it's all good. You said you had paranormal stuff, so that was the only one, was that shadow person?
Well, that and like, I don't know if you'd like technically call it prosthetic, but like, not prosthetic. Sorry, fucking,
Prophetic, like
uh,
you knew it before it happened,
yeah,
precognition,
yeah. Like
premonition.
yeah, my entire life I've had like semi prophetic dreams. Like there's never anything of importance. Like literally the first time it happened was an argument between my brother and I on the way to Vegas, and we had that argument like 2 years later. It's always like random conversations that don't mean anything of like significance.
Do you ever write those dreams down?
Very rarely. Normally, I only remember them when I'm in the moment and I get hit by a giant wave of uh, deja vu.
Yeah, that means you got something pretty powerful there. You might want to work at it. You know what I'm saying? Don't you know? I have the same thing. I've experienced the same thing. Um,
Yeah,
and I don't know what that was that popped up on my email. I've experienced the same thing. I worked at it though. So now when I have one of those dreams and I wake up from that dream, I pretty much I'll tell you the process I go through to memorize it. You can try it. So if you want to remember something like in excellent detail, and I learned this working at the Department of Defense. What you do is imagine a file cabinet in your head. Like so, if you and I are talking right now, imagine a file cabinet. Imagine you opening that file cabinet, and inside that file cabinet are these Manila folders. And then you, in your mind, you write on that Manila folder the tab of that folder, the key things that you need to remember. So let's say you had a dream about you were sitting in a living room full of people, and there were red cups on the table. And let's say there was a pretty girl on one side, and you started talking, and you guys had this great conversation. But then it turns out that she was with someone else, right? So if that was me,
yeah,
I would visualize, okay, red cup, beautiful girl with someone else, and I would talk about the color of the sofa, the color of the table. And so now I've committed, then I will close that cabinet in my mind. This is how I memorize the stories from people without literally without writing anything down. Then I will close that cabinet in my mind, and now I'm sealing that in my mind. When I want to recall that, I can pull that right back out immediately, like literally immediately. That's how come I'm able to tell people stories without writing them down. That's how I can tell you, like Dave Schrader's Dogman encounter that he told once in 2017. I think it might have been 2016 when I was on Coast to Coast with him. I can still tell the story because while he was doing it, I was jotting it down in my brain and filing it away. That would be
yeah,
the way that you memorize those things. And then just be thankful for that gift because that's a gift, bro. That really is a gift
yeah.
and develop it.
Yeah, ironically, I one time got robbed coast to coast. I was working as a graveyard cashier, and it happened to be on during an armed robbery.
What?
Yeah.
That's the worst mental anchor for coast to coast that you could ever have. So from now on,
Yeah.
every time you think
I
about
literally
coast to
haven't
coast, bro,
listened
you
to
think
it
about
since
getting
that
robbed.
happened.
That's insane, dude. I'm sorry that happened to you, bro. At least they didn't pull a trigger and like bust your head open. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I'm still breathing. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and it wasn't nothing but money. I'm pretty sure they told you it ain't your money. Get that motherfucking shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. All they wanted was money, cigarettes, the normal.
Nah, that's funny, dude. When they had all this shit was crazy. So when New Orleans was considered the Hollywood South, when they were doing all the tax credits, a partner of mine named Aaron Dirks, he got into dealing with the movie producers and shit, and he was like, "Shit, bro, they want somebody to come out here and just do a little skit to see if they can find somebody local." This is around Treme and all that was being produced. Somebody local just to come and play a bad guy. And I was like, "Oh, I ain't doing that. And I'll come over." So we go to his house. They're filming like two doors up from his house. So the producer's like, "Hey man, I just need you to we trying to get a feel from people from New Orleans. I just need you to rob this dude." I'm like, "Rob him?" It's like, "Yeah, I just need you to just simulate robbing him." I'm like, "Okay." I said, "So you cool with me robbing the guy?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, so what a weapon?" So they give me this little prop gun, and he says, "Okay, go." Man, I grabbed the dude by his fucking shirt, slammed his face into the wall, and I said, I started patting his shoulders. I said, "Listen to me, motherfucker." I said, "This ain't nothing but money. Don't make me take your motherfucking life out here. Just breathe, take it easy." And so I'm holding his face, pushing it into the wall. I'm like, "Just give me the motherfucking wallet. Reach back, get your wallet." And so he reached back, get his wallet. I said, "Now drop that bitch on the ground." And so I push him away, and I said, "Now walk away, motherfucker." I got the weapon. I said, "Walk away, walk away." And motherfuckers, I said, "You're walking too motherfucking slow. You better fucking walk." And so the dude take off running, and everybody's standing there looking. And my partner Aaron's like, bruh, like you need to act like for real, bro. That shit was crazy. I'm like, "Man, I don't be no motherfucking actor, man. This shit crazy." The producer's like, "Dude, this shit you just did, like you need to be on TV." I'm like, "Nah, bro, I don't want to be on TV." He's like, "How do you do that?" I was like, "Well, clearly." It's like clearly I grew up in an area where people was being robbed all the time, man. He's like, "Man, we need more people like you." So I hooked him up with some guys locally, and a couple of those guys got in the movies, but they are real thugs. They like really rob people. You know what I'm saying? They stick up guys. That shit was hilarious. So anyway, that's just me telling parts of my life, man. You share with me, I'm sharing with you, baby. That's how we do it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Well, keep up, man. It's awesome hearing all this shit. I definitely love everything, man.
Crush it out, Crush, baby. I love you, man.
All right, peace, bro.
All right, man. Later. That's my man, Crush. Hey, this is Dark Waters. Who am I speaking to and where you calling from? Man, where's my cigar?
My name's Casey.
Casey.
I'm calling from Middle River, Maryland.
Maryland. I saw you calling a couple of times, Casey. I'm sorry I didn't get to you, love. What's on your mind?
Oh, well, I actually am from PA. I grew up Pennsylvania Dutch around a lot of Amish people, really, and it was very backwoods. I lived on the line, PA-Maryland line.
Okay.
And so my first experience wasn't that exciting, but the second and third one from when I lived in PA was terrifying. The first one was it was like a brownish figure, and it was higher up in the front and shorter in the back. It reminded me kind of a hyena, and it literally stepped on the road once, and then was across, it jumped from the graveyard from the right, which is odd because they always seem to be around graveyards, and bounced, touched down once on the road and then was gone. It was gone. And this was in the middle of the night, and this was up in PA. It was by Lancaster County. I'm sure you've heard of that.
What you doing out there in the middle of the night on the road? That's the first thing we got to talk about. What you doing? You couldn't been up to no good out there in the middle of the night. What you was doing, girl?
Well, actually, I was going to the store. It takes a half an hour to get to a store, and in any which way. Any way you travel out there, it's forever to get to a store.
So you in the middle of nowhere for real. Okay, all right.
Oh, yeah. It was called Delta, PA, and it is, oh, my God, it's in the middle of nowhere, but it was beautiful. And 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 And so that freaked me out. But I was like, whatever, I was seeing things. Maybe it was a deer, but I know it wasn't. But I didn't know what Dogman was back then. So the second one, my second encounter, I was with my mother and my twin sister. My little sister wasn't. Oh yeah, she was born. She was about 5. And then so it was me, my twin, my little sister, my best friend Jess. We were all inside, and my mom and her friend were outside. My mom was hanging up, or no, she was taking down laundry off the laundry line. And she came running inside, and she was like, girls, 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 shut and lock the windows right now. And we're like, okay, what's wrong? What's wrong? And she's like, just do what I say. And I was like, okay. So me and my sister and my friend, we're running around, and we're shutting the living room windows. We shut the sliding glass door in the kitchen. And in the other bedrooms, we got to the last bedroom, and there was a window fan in because it's summer, and we didn't have AC. We couldn't afford it back then. So we had the window fan in, and we pulled it out real quick. And as soon as my twin sister pulled it out, oh, God, this gives me, I'm sorry. This gives me chills thinking about it. There was this large, dark creature. I'm sorry. Give me. And you could see its snout. And it was swaying side to side, like trying to look at us. And we freaked out. My sister slammed the window. I don't know how she even had the balls to do that. I guess she realized that, like, if I don't shut this window, it's going to come through at us. And my fiance now, he actually told me that I don't remember this, but he said that I went to him and was like, I know it wasn't a Bigfoot because it had, well, I don't use the word jowls. I said snout. I said he had a snout and he had ears. And he didn't look aggressive. His teeth weren't out, but he was a dark color. And he was like, it's hard to explain, but I'm sure, I don't know if you can picture it, but he was like going from left to right in a slow swaying motion. Like, it was very creepy. I don't know why he was doing that. Maybe he was trying to look at us. That's what it looked like, because he was kind of like bobbing his head too a little bit. If that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean?
Makes
Like
a lot of
hitting his
sense.
head. Yeah. And so we slammed the window, and we all went into the room, and Mom grabbed all the knives that she could, and we sat back to back to back in a circle with knives in our hands, shaking and crying all night long. No lie. And then the third one, it's going to make me upset too because I forgot about it. This all happened in Delta, yeah. This was all my first 3 encounters. I forgot about this. My little sister, I guess my memory, my brain suppressed it as like a self-defense mechanism. That's the only thing I can think of. And my little sister was here the other day, and she said, Casey, do you remember when there was dark figures bouncing, like jumping from we had 3 large, I'm sorry, let me backtrack. We had like, my mom's house, the layout, it was all woods and like to the right behind the house, if you're facing the house. And then across the street, in front of the house was all woods. And then like the whole way down, up and down that road was like pure woods, except for some cornfields sporadically, like spread out throughout Delta in that area. My whole family lived in that area. Anyway, where was I? Okay, so we were outside, and we had 3 huge maple trees out front. And the 2 first ones they're very full, and the third one was a different kind of tree. It wasn't maple, but it was like more thinned out than the maple, okay? And so there was, what I remember is like, I didn't remember all of it. I just remember there was these dark figures that were, they had like, I thought they were like men in black hoodies. And that's all I could remember at the time. When my little sister brought it up, that it like made my stomach drop, and it gave me like chills, like the whole way from the top of my head to my feet. And I'm like, oh my God, Katrina, I forgot about that. And she's like, yeah, they were bouncing, like they were not bouncing, they were jumping from the left tree. We had 3 in a row, from the first one to the second one without hitting the ground to the third one. But this is how it went. I was talking to my mom 2 days ago, and she said, Casey, and she didn't know my little sister told me this. She's like, do you remember when we were outside and there was 3 dark figures that looked like dogs with dog heads jumping up and down these limbs. They were skipping limbs. It was crazy. They were going up the tree, down the tree, up, like straight up and down, not from side to side. It was like, you know what I mean? Like, they were like skipping limbs. Are you there, hon?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm definitely here. I'm listening.
Okay. Sorry. They were like skipping limbs, and okay, so there's three. The first one was stayed up kind of in the middle of the tree. I know. They were jumping like a good, okay, so the ground to the first branch, which was a big branch, would have been a good 10 feet, okay? Yeah, around 9 to 10 feet, because I couldn't even reach it. I couldn't even reach it standing as an adult with my hands up. And they weren't even using their hands to jump up, that I noticed, unless they were moving that fast. I didn't see it. But from what I could tell, they were just jumping up, straight up into the tree. And then they would jump up another 2 limbs and then back down. And then that was the second one. And then he went back up. The third one stayed in the first tree, jumped over to the second, didn't really hang out in the second. And he was more like of a reddish tint, a brownish red. And he went to the third, more thinned out one and like stayed in that one. But the first 2 were the ones that were bouncing up and down. The third one was kind of like just going back and forth between trees. But there was only 2 that touched the ground and then went back up. And it freaked me the hell out. And I just couldn't believe that I didn't remember it at all. And it was just creepy. And then
your mom had to say something for you to remember it.
Yeah, my mom had to actually say something. She said that I told her, I said, Mom, and I grabbed her arm, she said, and I squeezed really hard. And I didn't remember any of this till she told me. And then it all came flooding in. Like, it was like floodgates were opened, and all my memories came flooding back. And it was overwhelming. I started crying. I wasn't bawling, but I was crying. Like, Chris, oh my God, that's my fiance's name, Chris. I was like, holy shit. Like, I can't believe I forgot all that. And Mom told me, and I remembered. It was like, bam, it was there, you know? And it was freaking me, because I would say it's Sasquatch, but I just don't see a Sasquatch being able to jump like that. And they had ears, you know, and had snouts. And in my mind, as a child, I was about 11, 12. It was around late summer, early fall, I believe, because I think the trees were starting to change. So it'd probably be around this time, maybe a little earlier, because it's still warm out. And so all that happened. And oh, okay. So my mom said, I'm sorry, I jump all over the place. I'm trying to
take your
get
time.
on
I'm
track.
following you. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm very good at listening. I'm
Okay.
following everything you're saying. Go ahead.
Great. That's good. So she said, I grabbed her arm, and I was like, Mom, this is getting scary. We need to get inside now. That's what she said that I told her. And I actually remember her saying that to her, and I didn't remember at all. Excuse me. And what's also weird is I was listening to an encounter the other night by some girl that was narrating it. It was just a random person like narrating someone else's story. That's why I like your format and how you do it, because you actually you do your vetting, and you know what I mean, you do all your background checks, and you know, you talk to your people thoroughly. And that's what I appreciate about you, because a lot of people just get the story and they just like repeat it, you know? And that's what I really appreciate about you. But what I was getting at is what was I just saying? Crap. I'm sorry.
You were saying that you were listening to her story, the narration, and did it jog something in your memory?
Yeah. Yeah. She was saying, oh yes, that's what it was. That like somebody was saying how they kept finding dead animals around the house and all that. Well, we constantly found, we were finding like bones, dead animals, like mutilated animals, scratch marks in the tree. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. My mom and me and my twin sister were like walking out back through there was like the cornfield right behind our house. And if you went to the right farther back, there was like a bunch of woods, and we were going sledding because there's this perfect hill back there. And we were walking back, and my mom stopped like dead in her tracks. And she's like, "Girls, do you see the scratch marks in the tree?" And she thought it was Bigfoot. and it couldn't have been a bear because it was at least 8 foot off the ground, probably higher, and it was about 4 that I remember deep, deep, deep scratches. And in my yard, we have the same thing, and I'll get to that as soon as I can because I wanted to make this fast because I think you said you have 40 minutes left, right on? Well, now it's probably like 30 or less.
Take
But
your time. I don't have. I ain't got nothing to do. I got another cigar. Take your time. Don't rush.
okay. So my mom, she's always been into she reads tarot cards, and she actually listens to me and all that, and I appreciate it because honey, can you get Karma? I'm sorry. Sorry, my daughter started crying. Her name's Karma. She's awesome. But anyway, so my mom, she always listened, and she was always into like the paranormal and all that. My dad is a firefighter. He's an EMT. He drives the milk trucks for my cousin Myron. They own like a big dairy farm. And I remember this one time, like if I talked to my dad, what I was getting at with my dad is he wouldn't listen. He would laugh it off and say, "Girl, you need to stop watching so much sci-fi or something like that," Which is, fine. My dad don't believe, but my dad probably never had an experience, even though I find that hard to believe because he's EMT, but maybe, and he's always on the road. But you never know. He's also a trucker for our cousin Myron. But to bring up our cousin Myron, he owns a huge dairy farm, and it's the second largest dairy farm on the East Coast. And so one time we were four-wheeling in the back in trails behind our farm, my cousin's farm. And it was like, there are 3 houses up from my dad's. And my dad and all of them, they live right around the corner from my mom. My whole family lives right there in Delta, PA. And if anybody wants to look it up, it's like Slab Road and East McKinley Road. I don't live there anymore, so it don't matter. And like that area is crazy. It has lots of history with dark magic, witchcraft.
Found a horn skull.
Oh, yes, they've actually found a horned skull. Down
They found
there by the
a what?
river.
A horned skull.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a true horn skull.
Yeah, a real horned skull. And it was all bone, and probably cartilage, I'm guessing, because...
No, just bone.
Just bone? Oh, it was all bone. And it was in the newspaper. It was in the Delta Star, right, Chris?
Yep.
Yeah, or the York Daily Record, one of the two.
You can look it up, the horned skull.
Yeah, if you look it up, it's under the horned skull in Susquehanna Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And because we grew up right on the Susquehanna River, and there's lots of Indian settlements there. If you go down there, you can dig up like arrowheads everywhere. And I'm also Shawnee Indian and Crow Indian, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I feel like I can pick out or sense when dogmen or other entities or bad energies are near. I can read people very easily, like good intentions, bad intentions, what energies they're putting off. I don't know how to explain it, but it's I've never been like really like tutored or even taught about what I am. Like I've always felt my whole life I am something. I just don't know what. And so I do feel like I have the ability to at least sense when I'm close to something like a dogman. And my whole life I've loved and been obsessed with wolves. I don't know why. I just am. Maybe because they're beautiful, or maybe I don't know. I just feel like I have some kind of weird connection to dogmen. I know it sounds crazy, but so after I moved out, I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else about Delta we found a car upside down in the middle of the woods. That was weird. I don't know how it got there, but it was rusted. It was an old Chevy Bel Air, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that who it's made by, Chris? Yeah. And so we found that upside down, me and my twin, and it had a huge tree growing right in the middle of it. It was weird. But that was right by the scratch marks too, which is weird. But okay, so I moved down here out of PA, down the Middle River, Maryland, right by Lockheed Martin Air Force Base, and that's supposed to be a very sketchy, secretive Air Force base that I've heard of. Lockheed Martin is like another Area 51, from what I hear. Don't know if that's true, but take that with a grain of salt, But so I get down here and everything's been good. Was good for a couple of years. I saw some like kept feeling weird energies, blah 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 blah. And so I would say about the beginning of the summer this year, just this year, I told my fiance that I know that what I saw when I was younger and when I was little and when I was in the teenage years, that it was a dog man without a doubt, all 3 times. Oh yes, and down here the same railroad tracks. Just keep this in mind. That run from Mom Pa Railroad is the same ones that run right by our house, right down close to our house down here. And I was like, I went down this road called Race Road in Middle River, and I started videotaping. I felt like I was being watched, like tremendously, like lots and lots of eyes were on me, and I started recording, and I saw something furry. And I told Chris, I said, Chris, what is that? And his crazy ass went over the guardrail, and we live not that far from Baltimore City, which blows my mind by how many there are. Okay, so he walks over the guardrail, walks down in, but he tries to like loop around to get him to move. And I start hearing growl. Oh yeah,
Chris, you tripping, dog?
I know he's not in here right now. He said you're tripping, Chris.
Yeah, you tripping hard, Chris.
You started laughing. And I was like, Chris, I was like, if you want, I'll send you the video. I was like, wait, Chris, wait. Because I saw him growling. You could start to see him growl, and the sun was hitting their eyes just right to where it was actually making them glow. And some of the eyes weren't glowing. What's weird to me is I look for eyes and I look for ears. Yeah, I have a video. I'll send it to you, the one 16 minutes long. And I have a screen recording where it's slowed down and zoomed in where you can actually see him. I can outline him too if you want. But
love to see it.
Yes, I will send you everything I have if you want. All the good things anyway. I'll make sure I edit it, or at least I can send you the whole full version unedited so you can see.
Yeah,
that
send me an unedited version so I can take a look at it.
Right, because that's the best thing to do, you know. So I always look for big eyes with big pupils, and usually they're like a whitish yellow eye with like a black or a dark brown pupil that's round, or a slit like a reptilian. And what's weird is I've been finding a lot of the reptilian style pupils, but that's what I look for because they're huge. Usually their eyes are big, and they, for some reason, I think I found a weakness of theirs. They can't keep their eyes off of you. If that makes sense, if you look for them, they can't keep their eyes off of you.
Circling around behind you.
Yeah, usually if they have somebody out in front, like kind of out in the front, they're usually trying, I think they're trying to get your attention on that so they can circle behind you or like flank you, you know?
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. And so on that video, I have a video of, I think it was about at least 3 of them, and the one started growling, and his teeth were huge. And my profile picture on YouTube, actually, it's called Dwayne the Watchers. If you click on my profile, it's a weird filter, but it's colorful. And you can see, if you look on the left-hand side, upper left, there's like there's the pupil. It's a reptilian pupil, and it's the profile of the Dogman face, and he's growling, so his lips are curled up, and his nose is actually curled up too some. And and his teeth are like so pointed, and they're coming down, straight down, and his ears are back. But when I pan the camera, this isn't in the picture, you can see his actual butt, because they have like human butts, kind of, but they have hair or fur, whatever you want to call it, like the whole way back, but it thins out back there. It's just more thick around like their ears and like, you know what I mean, what you would call a mane, I guess. And then it gets thinner down around the navel and all that, and a little bit thicker around the genitalia and whatnot. But I got some really good pictures out of my videos the other day, and I found this Dogman that had like whitish wavy hair that was longer, and he sticks out like a sore thumb, and so does this other gray one. It was crazy. I can't believe I even caught him, and I don't even know how to get him out there so people can see him, because I'm not trying to make money off of them. I just want people to see this stuff, because there's not very many good Dogman pictures, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, my pictures are the best, because they're not. I mean, a lot of them are blurry, but I got a couple very, very good ones that I'm very proud of. And what I do is I'll go through videos, my own video or other people's. I'll ask them first, like, would you like me to go through your videos? And like, you know, if I catch something, enhance it. And they're like, oh, of course. So I'll go through videos and push play, pause, and till I find something. So I'm very into editing and drawing out, not really editing as much as taking up and down the brightness and contrast, and just getting that image to, I mean, that creature to where you can see. I want the face of the monster, is what I'm saying. Like, did you ever see that video? And everybody said it was Bigfoot, and it was just, all you could see was two glowing eyes. For one, that's my number one clue right there that it wasn't Bigfoot, because it had yellow eye shine.
You talking about the
Bigfoot does
trail
not have
cam? Is
yellow
it a
eye shine.
video with the trail camera video? Is it a video or a picture?
It's a video, and it's in the window, and it's
Oh yeah. I saw that one. Yeah, I saw that.
yes, I actually enhanced it, and you can see the face, the ears, the fangs, the nose, and the
Oh,
eyes.
you gotta send that to me. And
I'll
I want to
send it
send
to
you
you.
this photo that Carrie caught and let you play around with it, a one-eye Willie, which we call it, and see what you can pop out of that, and see if you can
That
mess
would
with
be
that and see
amazing.
something.
Oh yeah, I'm good at it, and I'll take my time, and I will not stop till I perfect it. Ask Chris; he knows. I spend hours, and I love it though. It's not like it's work to me. I love it. Any pictures that you enhance, even if it's just eye shine and pitch blackness, I will at least get a shape out of it, because at the very least, because I just want to bring that face of the monsters out, so people can see what it actually is. I don't think they're true monsters, but I mean, who knows? I think that if they wanted to, I mean, I know if they wanted to kill us, they could, in a heartbeat. I mean, they're super fast. I'm not saying they're super friendly, and we should try to befriend them, but I don't see anything wrong with. I think you should respect them. I think that you shouldn't dump in their living areas, and I think that if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. And lately, since I went there, we walked all through the woods before I even knew that it was anything. I found a bunch of structures that were dens. I mean, not dens. They were like domes. They were domes. And they were vines or thick vines and sticks that were bent into shapes of a dome, okay, with like leaves and all kinds of debris over it. And I caught a picture of a juvenile on its back with his head tilted, clear as day, and you could see his long ass claws on each finger. I think 4 of them at least, right? Or all 5, Chris?
I think it was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4 of them. And what's crazy is, if you know about wild cats, a wild cat's eyes will dilate, right, Chris? They dilate right before they attack you. Now, on this video, I have screenshots, or the video you can watch in slow motion. I would slow it down. I highly recommend slowing it down, actually, as much as you possibly can. Even lower than 0.5 if it's possible, because you can see his eyes dilate. Like, if I wasn't going to move, he was going to attack me. His eyes dilated. And
Wow.
I didn't even see him. There are masters at disguise. So that's why I do the play pause, and then do the contrast and and then darken it or brighten it, because half time you can't see them until you do that, because they will blend in with trees. They know how to stay in the shadows. They know how to move when you move, so that you can't see them. So, like, say you're making a noise, they'll make a noise or move right when you do, so that they can move right with the wind, right with how the leaves are blowing, everything. They know how. I mean, it's their home. They know those woods like the back of their hands. They know their woods like we know our homes. You know what I'm saying? And they know how to move with nature, so that we can't see them, or people call you crazy. Oh, that's a pareidolia. No, I'm sorry.
I heard that they're
Oh, sorry. Yeah, oh, yes, and Yeah, so they know how, not just that, but they know how to work with their environments. And also, did you know that buffalo is the only animal on this world, except for dogmen, that their fur absorbs light? Okay? So, therefore, their fur has nothing to reflect off of. Does that make sense? Like, so it makes it a lot harder to capture a picture of them. Did you
Oh
ever hear
no,
that?
you talking about buffalo? Or we talking about dogman? Because I know it's hard to
Well,
capture dogman because of the way their skin. I mean, their fur absorbs light. It's ridiculous
yes,
what they do.
yes. Oh yeah, I was saying that buffalo do that too. That's the only animal besides dogmen that can do that.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah, so, yeah.
definitely know they absorb light. I've had talked to
That's
witnesses
so
who've
good.
seen them in broad daylight and like, yo, it was like the fur was blacker than black. Like it was just crazy how black that fur
Yeah,
was.
yeah. And what's weird is like you can see the fur, but if you don't catch them at the right exact spot, it's like hard to see them, especially if they're brown. Because if you think about it, if the sun don't have anything to reflect off of, it's gonna be very matte or flat color. So they can blend in just like a shadow. You're not gonna see no sheen to that fur. So they could look just like a shadow, and most of the time they do. And so what I was getting at is, okay, so we're down here and we go back through these woods, and I have 16 minutes of us just walking through their den. You see domes, you see blinds that they've made, you see bamboo fences that they've actually made themselves. They're actually very crafty and creative when it comes to the woods and their surroundings. What? No, I have the whole video. I'm gonna send it to him. So we went through there. Didn't realize they were back there at that time. We just figured that we hopefully we'll find some like footprints or get some. I mean, seriously, I went back there with the intentions of like finding a dogman, not even Bigfoot, because I heard that Maryland is territory for dogmen, and the way I found that out is the history of Maryland. It goes back to the PA, Pennsylvania Dutch, and Maryland. Okay, so Maryland, besides Michigan and Louisiana and Kentucky, I think Louisiana is like the La Rougarou or Rougarou. La is for French, right?
Right? Yeah.
Is that yes? And I've heard that if you speak French, they will actually respond to you. I don't know French from a hole in the ground.
Nah,
But
I don't know about that one. I ain't trying to speak no French to the Rougarou. All I want to do is get up out their way.
Right? You ain't kidding. I don't think there's any way in hell I want to be like, oui, monsieur, or whatever.
Yeah,
I can't.
no,
I'm
they
not
can
even
keep
gonna try.
They can keep that.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. And okay, so oh yes, so Maryland is the one state besides Louisiana and Michigan, and Kentucky. Well, LBL is land between the lakes. But anyway, Maryland has a name for them that the Pennsylvania Dutch made, and it's called Dwayo. It's Dwayyo. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't heard of that. And that's their name for Dogman?
Yep. And it's Dwayo, and that's my name on YouTube. And that's why, because it's Dwayo, and they also call them the Watchers. And Dwayo is the name for dogmen in Maryland. And the Pennsylvania Dutch made it, and because they were fighting, I don't know why exactly, but they were fighting what they call snallygaster. And have you ever heard of that?
I haven't heard of
snallygaster?
Snallygaster. No, talk to me about that. What's that?
Okay, so snallygaster is like a large bird serpent-like creature, right, Chris?
Yeah, I'm not sure. If
I'm not. Well, I'm not. I don't know if it's all myth or legend, but I think there's some truth to every legend.
Is it documented anywhere? Did they talk about it in writing anywhere?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, in the papers, yep, back in the day. I don't know exactly
I'm gonna
when,
look
but I'll
for
have to. Yes, and if you do, let me know, please, because I'm very interested. But, the Dwayo were infamous for fighting the snallygaster. And the snallygaster, I guess, were harmful to the people. And I also heard that that the government said. I think Jeffrey, your friend Jeff, what's his last name?
Dolly.
What is it?
Nadolny.
Nadolny? Yeah, I don't know if I said that right. He was saying how what was that, Chris? That the government said it's okay. You might be scared of dogmen, but if you knew what the dogmen were protecting you from, you'd be damn happy they were out there, or something along those lines. Have you heard that before?
Nope, not at all. When did the government say that? Was that back in the day, or was that lately? In current times.
Um, it was like recent. I don't know if it actually said it. Okay, I didn't hear the government say it. I don't have a source for it. It's just hearsay. You know what I mean? It's like he said, she said kind of thing. But I heard it on. I'm pretty sure it was his channel, and if it's not, I deeply apologize. But I'm pretty sure it was his channel. It was his one. I think it was Victor that he was talking to for a while there, and his name was turned out to be, I can't remember. I'm sorry, but anyway, they said if you really knew what was out there, you'd be happy the dogmen were killing them or taking care of them for you. But I've been listening to a lot of encounters, and I also have a feeling that it might be what they call the mantis being. It's like a translucent, see-through kind of being that has like a triangle head, and it has like a weird high pitched scream too, but not like the dog man. It's more like of a frequency that pisses the dog man off. But supposedly, these I don't know what you want to call them. Let's just say for lack of better word, mantis being, they are the ones that are mutilating the cattle and the livestock, and not the dog men. But
I'm
I don't
familiar
know.
with Triangle Head for sure. I'm familiar with
Triangle head, yes. What is
I
triangle
didn't know if
head?
they called it. I don't know if that's what they're calling the mantis being. For mantis beings, to me, every time I've ever heard of a mantis being, it's been a interdimensional being that people encountered when they were on DMT or those
Hmm.
type of drugs. So
Right.
I'm
Wow.
not sure, and so I'm not sure if we're talking about the same. I'm not sure if there's a correlation, but when people start
I
talking about the
think
mantis
so.
being, you're talking about interdimensional beings that are outside of our time space continuum. That once you get to tripping on DMT, and I forgot the other one, ashwaga, whatever it's called, that people encounter
Oh.
these beings. So it could. That's my knowledge of the mantis beings. Now the triangle head, I haven't figured out what it is because I haven't had enough encounters. I only had about three, two that I can tell. I'm think maybe I might have told all three, but I haven't had enough data points on that. That's why I haven't gone into it. But what I will say about
Right.
my research and what I've talked to about Triangle Head is that they're literally inside of Dogman territories. Period. Hands down,
Yeah.
these are all Dogman territories. So you might be hitting on something because names and the way people kind of describe things
Mhm.
are significant. So I came up with Triangle Head because that's what they described it as Triangle Head,
Well,
metallic
yeah.
looking skin, and it you start talking about translucent metallic looking skin, long tail,
Yes.
super big
Yep.
claws, and
Yes.
scary as all outdoors. So I don't
And
know.
weird teeth, and they say their elbows and like knees kind of stick up higher than the torso, and they walk on all fours.
I don't know who you've been talking to because you kind of hitting the nail on the head with a bunch of stuff.
Really? Well, it's just from different encounters. I'm like literally obsessed with dogmen, and I don't want to say it like that, but I'm just very fascinated, which I would say. And I like to do my research and not just assume. I like to get my facts straight. And what I'm saying is, what I've heard from different encounters, I'm just piecing them different encounters together. And you know what I mean? I take notes mentally. I'm just good at remembering it if I'm into it. And their elbows and their knees stick up higher than their torso. Their torso kind of like sits down in some, and they walk around like a spider kind of, from what I heard. I
Nah,
think they have more than four legs. What do you know? Do you know if they
no,
have more than
no,
four legs?
that's we're not talking about the same thing. No, we talking about No, we're not talking about the same thing. This is what been described
Well,
to me
they
is
might not. I'm just guessing. I'm just saying the way they explained it sounded like they had more than four legs. Maybe not. I'm just saying like. But they did say that when they walk, their knees and elbows are higher than their torso, and they kind of remind them of a spider the way they walk. And their skin is almost so white and shiny that it's translucent, and their blood is like, what did they say, Chris? No, it's not green. It's like black. It was
that
black,
sound
I
like some
think.
old alien shit off the movies. So the thing that I'm talking
I
about
know.
is it's black. It's black metallic skin that's kind of gives off this translucent shine to it. It's
Huh.
massive, like huge, and it's
Wow.
fast, extremely fast. And the thing is, it hadn't attacked anyone. That's why I was trying to figure out, what's the purpose of it is. It hasn't
Right.
that I know of. It hasn't attacked any of the witnesses. But I tell you what, darling, we are 10 minutes over time. This is what I want to do. I have a number on you. I want to reach out to you and
Okay.
call you, and I'll chat it up with the two of you guys tomorrow because we're gonna compare
Yeah.
notes on some things. And I want you to take a look at this picture, and I want you to shoot me over whatever
Yeah.
video you have so we can take a look at it. Have you guys joined Dogman Cams yet? Because you guys will be some good assets over there to look at those cameras. Because you will probably get
Yeah.
all the evidence you could ever want.
I would love that. So Dogman Camps, I checked it out. So wait, hold on. What? How? Do you just subscribe to the channel on YouTube?
You go to the website dogmancams.com and become a member, and then
That's
as soon as you become a member, you get email passcodes and everything else to where you can access the cameras.
awesome. I would love that. And how much money does it cost, honey?
It's like $6 a month. It's not super expensive.
That's not bad. And I want to tell you then too about the footprints and the handprints I've been catching out back and all that. It's just and my father-in-law seeing eyes outside the window in the living room. It's just
We'll
been crazy.
definitely talk about that tomorrow, love, because we are out of time.
Okay.
I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, thank you for talking to me. And send me that picture tonight if you can.
I
And
will,
I'll send you
absolutely.
a video. Okay.
Okay, sounds
Thank
good.
you.
All right, bye.
All right.
Another great episode of Talking Dog Man. And that's what happens when you guys get a chance to talk. All kinds of stuff comes out. I love it, man. Guys, we are out of here. That's it for the day. If y'all want me to come back tomorrow night, I can come back tomorrow night. You know what I'm saying? I'll come back tomorrow night for y'all. I love y'all. If y'all want me to come back, if y'all liking it, I'll come back. But I gotta get this content made for y'all for the weekend. So let's get it.
On the top floor in the buildings, a skyscraper. Feeling like I'm Kobe, LeBron for the Lakers. Feeling like I'm Idris, Paul Walker, Taker. New Rollie, no diamonds in it. New Porsche, all dimes in it. I'm infatuated with fine women. Corona extra with the lime in it. Just a taste of Henny. Used to be a penny pincher. Now I'm in plenty business. Grind hard, nigga, on guard.
Grind hard, nigga, on guard.
Yeah. We grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and bomb a nose.
Anything is possible.
Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man,
Alright, I got a lot of goals.
Stack that bread and bomb a nose.
Anything is possible.
I lean with it, I rock with it. Locks under my socks fitted. Tahoe with the black tint. Houston girl, heavy accent, but my whole swag is magic. High five, fantastic. Make the money stretch like elastic. Making moves that you couldn't imagine. Eating, still watching my calories. Just to pull in that big boy salary. It's just the way that it has to be. I'm a bad boy, Mike Lowry. While I'm sipping this Henny, and all of my niggas is with me. Yeah, grind hard, nigga, on guard.
Grind hard, nigga, on guard.
Yeah. Grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and bomb a nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and bomb a nose. Anything is possible.
Don't forget, Occupy Halloween starts Saturday night. Saturday at 12 noon, baby. Be there, be square. I might get into the Giants, man. I think we should hit that Giants shit too. Might go back and hit that Giants. Yeah, we might hit that. Peace out.